quick. You see that sign? I know you can barely see that. That's so horrible. You see, welcome to Woodbridge. So right now we at like MLK, Martin Luther King Boulevard in Trumbull. This is like an iconic part of the city. Like, this is really like a very, if you from Detroit, Southwest Detroit, this part right here make you feel real comfortable about being in the city. It's kind of like the best and the worst part of living in this city, because you super close to Detroit, but it's a lot of art culture that, even though this place, like, even though this community kind of look run down, like, you know, it's, as far as I know, as far as I even remember, it's always kind of looked a little sketchy. That's just being honest. But it's just something so comfortable about it when you down here and you from here, because it's still familiar and you know it's hidden gems in here. Once again, me being from Detroit, let me just show you some of these buildings. Like, I get lost. My nature is, let me just show you some of these buildings that's kind of like on this stretch. Some of these houses. What I always liked about Southwest Detroit is, even when it's run down, look at their architecture to the buildings. Look at this. This is an aspect of Detroit that, unless you live down here, in a way you wouldn't know. Look at this. This is Alexandrine. I mean, I used to walk down here for years. This is historical. This is like a big chunk of Detroit's history. Is these homes, this architecture in these buildings. Let me show you this house. See, as an artist, let me show you this house right here on the end. You see that? Look at that. Look at the windows. As an artist, for me personally, and for a long time, look at that house. Just look at how amazing that is. Like, the architectural design. Those are old houses. As an artist, walking through here was really important to me. Somebody tagged that little thing right there. Walking through here was very inspirational, and it touched my heart a lot. Not having a car during those critical times of my life did afford me the opportunity to walk around my city. This city has a very bad reputation, and they've earned it in a lot of ways. But I had a perspective. You know, I always had a perspective that was different from other people, since I wasn't causing the trouble. And this is one thing I loved. We used to always ride our bikes, so you see a lot of bike riders riding through the city. That's another thing this part is known for. People, man, they walk and they ride their bikes because it's like a beauty. It's like an undeniable quiet beauty that's just stained in every building that you look at. And it literally takes for you to this is a gas station I used to always go into. Right now we at Trumbull. Anyway, it's just an undeniable beauty that goes along with being in this particular part of the district when you in before you entering into Wayne State University territory, and you coming from that southwest back in through Woodbridge, the historic homes. I'm gonna pull in this place plenty of times when I was broke. Alright, we didn't have like a lot of money. And I never did, and that was never my concern. When, you know, in the creative process, money was never my mainstay. But I always will find crazy fresh places to eat at. And to do everything I needed to do. These are just places that, now that I'm back from Texas, I just kind of like to drive around when I'm in the city and look at and reminisce about how much time I used to stay in these places. This store right here, University Foods, after I've been and walked a mile scouting out places to do art shows, I come here and I just come here, grab a slice of pizza, chat with the people in there a little bit, and then I walk out with my backpacks and my art stuff. We walk out, head right back up the street and just find more coffee shops, more people to talk to, more creative people. That was always a plan, just to have an inspiration. Like, I think a lot of times, I don't know what people thought we were doing in the city. We must have just looked like vagabonds. I don't know. Just people that was up to no good. Because we were always outside as young people. And we, you know, when you don't have a lot of money and you probably ain't dressing like you don't have a lot of money, you're probably not dressing the best. It looks suspicious to people, like, well, what are they in here to do? Are they probably, I don't know what people were thinking, but we were always looking, me and my friends, the creative friends, we were always looking for inspiration. In Detroit, we were hunting for it. It was just like, this is all sponge territory. It's all sponge territory. You're just sitting here when it's cold, when it's hot, just watching the college kids, you know, the professors. Just I've always been big on interaction. I absorb the way people communicate with each other. This is Anthony Wayne Drive. You know, I'm huge on absorbing human interaction. And one thing that inspires me big in connection with art is how people interact with each other. And here, it's so much going on right here in this part of the city. Day in and day out, you get to watch a lot of interactions, whether good or bad. And if to a kid, like how we were, in a weird way, it was not only inspiration, but it was entertainment too. So now I'm about to show you some of the spots we eat at. Some of these places are new. That building's been there forever. Look how awesome that building is. But right here on the corner, the Cass. Show you. It's a historic place that nobody should ever not figure out how they're gonna eat at. How they're not gonna eat here. Let me show you this. Matter of fact, it's 3 places. Okay? The potato place. If you from the D, you know this place is the deal. The potato place is a historic place. It's historic, like, in my mind. They have the biggest, best potatoes in the city, and they load them with whatever you want. When we was first trying our hand, when people was talking about clean eating back in the day, I mean, we ain't know nothing about that in the city. Our first introduction to folks doing it right, we just go next door to Epicurious Cafe. But I'm gonna step out in 1 second and I'm gonna show you where the vibe was real strong, where you could run into almost all the creatives. And to be honest with you, low-key, I thought this place was closed, but I'm happy it's not. I'm gonna step out real quick and show you this spot. That's Olympic Grill. Olympic Grill. Right here. One day when I got time, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna grab something to eat. So y'all can check this spot out. Olympic Grill. I sit down with my good friend Russ. He's a musician. He's in Philly now, doing online instructions for music online. He does tutorials, engineering, and show people how to do the vibe online in the studio. I think that's crazy fresh, to be honest. I have another friend, Bob. He's in California. We sit down in their Olympic Grill over eggs, hash browns, rye toast, and where we at? This Woodward right here. Woodward is gonna take me another day. I'm gonna put y'all up on Woodward another time. Woodward is it's something I gotta talk about later. Woodward is like the best part of the city to me, no matter where you coming from. Woodward is it's a time capsule in itself. It's just gonna take me more time to show y'all what's up with that. But Olympic Grill, I can't tell you how many times we sat down in there if we were on a bad day, and we would just sit, order our food, and eat, and we would just wait for some aspect of the vibe to then produce the conversation. And to be honest with you, I think it was just the ambiance that Olympic Grill has. It's like them people just good at what they do. They serve you real quick. It was never a moment any of us felt uncomfortable in there. Especially being young black kids, I think that was key. Being young black young adults at the time, it was pretty key that we could come in there and sit down. We were never made to feel different, and that was the thing. Like, it was so much diversity. Look at how Woodward is. Let me show you this. Woodward is just crazy. But it was so much diversity going on in that particular part of just a restaurant idea, that just to sit there was inspirational. It was just a big deal for us, man. Just to sit there. Like, we call up each other when we had a bad day at work, and it'd be like, man, I need to talk. It'd be like, okay, well, what you doing right now? Nothing. Well, I'll meet you at Olympic Grill, and we both hop a freight. Hopping to, catch a bus. And my friend Russ would be like, let's stop at Olympic Grill. Let's grab something to eat. And the eating, just sitting there, it would just start a whole nother creative vibe for you, Put you in another place. You gain your confidence back. You're in a place where you're being made to feel comfortable. That was one good thing about that restaurant. I gotta sit down in there one day soon and see if the vibe is the same. And we just talk, conceptualize, throw ideas, brainstorm, eat. What's your music sounding like? Play a few tunes. What's your they'd ask me, what's your art looking like? How's it looking? Show them a few designs, and it snowballed from there. So I tell anybody who's a creative, and that's their dominant side, these are things that you just gotta do. Look at Detroit, man. Just downtown Detroit. It's kind of beautiful. I guess you just walk through here and just look at everything. Look at the lights. Anyway, Look at that. Just look at the lights. Anyway, this was just an aspect, you know, timestamp in history, you know. One of the best times I had was walking around this city with no money in my pockets, not a dime to my name, none coming, and a mind full of inspiration and creativity from just people watching and building watching and human interaction at its optimal level. I cannot describe to you further how that feels. There's just something in me that I can't describe to you. That's why I'm recording it. Just kind of hoping that this video and this simple commentary will kind of give you something to think about. Look at this building. Look at this. Some of this stuff is new. I have not even seen. But some of these buildings are just stained in my mind. Look at some of the art you'll see in Detroit. Who puts that in the middle of a city? A Greek statue. Look at this building, the mosaic tile. This is the very unique part about Detroit that nobody can explain, right? Nobody can really explain this part. You just have to see it. You just have to see it. It's an experience. So this is where I'm from. This is the few minutes that I took to show y'all one adventure since I was down here, of what I look at, what I dream about, where I'm from, Bagley. If you're just from Detroit, it's something about just saying that street that it just resonates with you. I don't even know why. And so I just wanted to take a minute to just show y'all that, you know, it's a lot that goes on visually in this city that even with its bad reputation, you look for the good and you just see it. It's in abundance. And, you know, it's there. It's there. That's all I got for y'all today.